Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Nick, and welcome to the 2026 celebration of the Spring Equinox, which around here we do by playing Okami all day. It feels like it wasn't intended to be a ritual or tradition at this house, but something about the change of season, something about the smell in the air always brings me back to this game around this time of year. And you know, I'm just leaning into it. I say, hey, let's do it. We have the beautiful actual live webcam of our yard in the background. I'm sitting here. I have the game. It looks like OBS is gonna finally not crash for long enough that we actually get to stream and play the game. So enough of my yapping. Let's get into it. Let's figure out where we left off last year. That's also kind of just the very fun gag to me is, why is my controller not working? It's very fun to me to play a game only once a year. You know what? I'm going to restart the game to see if I can get my you know what? I'll do it this way. Listen, at some point here, everything we just lock in, and I can basically just kick back and just play this game. I'm trying to remember. We went inside the guy, the Emperor. Oh, there it is. Wow, the search on the Scene Big Picture is bad. If nothing else, because it always remembers your last saved search, and that's actually... problematic's not exactly the right word, but... okay. Give me one more time. What did we do last time? My brain trying to remember a year ago. That's expecting a lot. We went inside the Emperor. We were at the city. I think we've done the part where we have to draw the funny mask. I think we've beaten Orochi once already. Continue. We are 22 hours into this game. Wow, we have a lot of the gods? Okay. A lot of the brush techniques. Again, here's the thing about this game. This game is awesome. This game is wonderful. This is an awesome 20-hour game. It is more like 40 hours long. So if this is year 4 of us doing this, is this really going to take 4 more years? 3 more years? 2 more years after this? What am I going to do after that? Just play it again, honestly. I'm going to have the slowest... I'm going to set the slowest speedrun record for Okami by the time all is said and done. That's wrong. Where is settings? That would be in this menu? Here we go. Invert y-axis only. So I want to look up and down, but I want to swing the camera that way. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm dumb. This is not a shooting game, so I use inverted camera controls. It was actually really... yeah, that feels natural now. Okay. I have to remember buttons. Good. Seeds. It's important to gather seeds. I have bark. Yes, that's a good button. Okay. Who are we? Where are we? What are we doing? I'm turning this game up in my ears because I don't want to see or hear anything that's not this game today. Okay, we have catwalk. Logbook? Journal. No. Otohime's test. Dragon Palace. Whirlpool. Okay, I thought we did that. I think we've also already done the Space Kaguya. Travel guide? No. Where are we? Great. I don't think we've done a sunken ship. Maybe it would have been a bright idea to watch the end of last year's stream just to get an idea. All right, let's... I know what this is. This is a fight. Ow. What's the... That's the paint button. Nope, and then this. I'm learning. Your fire. Can I burn you? Yes, I can. Okay. Okay. Now you're stunned. Now I kill you? What do, I can do wind, which will put the fire out? And then they're right, they turn sort of black and white when they're ready for a cut, but it's kind of hard to see on something that's already wood colored because it's already kind of grays. Okay. Ah, yeah, look at those results. I'm gonna say I'm good enough to get back into it. This fox already likes me. Alright, what's this? To Enkoku Temple. Enkoku Temple. That's quite a gate. Sure. What's up, man? Head priestess practices monsters of doing magic. Any trouble in the city, they call for her help. And there's been nothing but trouble in Seiyan City lately. Hope the priest will be back before too long. Okay, so if the priestess is gone, this seems like what we need to be doing. Sure. Let's explore. If the priestess is gone, I wonder where she went. No, wait. I thought we did this. Didn't I take some screenshots of the lady when she was back and sitting here? Was that a different priestess? There's a lot of them about. Rock. Oh, cucumber. Cat. I need it. No. I need to feed you. Cats like fish. This is why this is the best Zelda game, honestly. I was talking with Joe a bit about that last night, about like, oh, what is the best, what is the deal with Okami? And it's like, yeah, Okami is the best. Okami might be the best Zelda game. Again, except for it being too long, I will definitely always give it some static for that. Can I... Okay. Can we make this bloom? No. This place does seem haunted. Does seem to be afflicted by a miasma. How is this doing? Okay. Well, she's not here. Maybe she went to... Oh, what's that? Enkoku Temple bell. Do not ring without reason. I mean, you know I'm gonna. I've rung it. Alright, I think I saw a face down here. Hi, who are you? Can't swim in the sea, Pooch. It's too dangerous. The water dragon is there with his mouth. Okay, so I'm getting the feeling that the priestess went to subdue the water dragon, so now we have to go subdue the water dragon. Was there a thing? We learned catwalk. Is that going to get us... Ah, right, a clover. Right. There was the moon platform. I think we went over... Yeah, that's the dojo. Arc. Moon? Sun? If I sun, then can I alternate it to moon? I have a whole thing to help remind me. Veil of Mist, Crescent goes that way. Summon the moon. Okay. This way. There we go. Now, if I bring out the moon... Here we go. Here we go. Something's happening. Whoa. So maybe I flushed the sea a little bit. Okay, alright. Can do it like this. I'm gonna land about here. Nope. Nope, I am not. That's fine. And then we do this. And we blow ourselves over. Alright. Boat time, baby. What's your deal? Do I clank it? Have I already done this? Did we do the water dragon? And I just absolutely don't remember. Okay. You want me to... Okay. Dingle. What that? Hey, Mia. No, I just started. I'm thinking this will be... I'm good to just dink around a little bit. Okay, so there are open chests and closed chests. That's making me think those are mimics. Maybe I have been here. Nope, not that one. Let's see here. Now that I'm getting some bearings. Logbook says... The Dragon Palace. Whirlpool. Cease the monster stronghold on the island. Okay. On the island lies in the water dragon. Yeah, powerful shield. Sure. Any seems to break shield when it's not in pain, but a water dragon could break the shield with these. To this. Okay. A border key. Cross the border. A race which controls a water dragon. Dragonian domain. Okay, so yes, calm the water dragon and open a path on the island. Okay. Okay, so maybe in here is where I want to be being. Okay. The thing I just said, I was right about. Oh, so much money, though. This is fine. Is it? Oh, I don't like you. Better. Oh, it landed back on it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, big spooks. Okay, a lot of this is feeling familiar already. That's a pile of bones. Uh-huh. Okay. Bone dragon. Nice gate. Okay, that's sparkly. Sparkly like... Not like I can cut it. Yeah, okay, I am definitely remembering these puzzles. Do I have a map? That's options again. Ugh. Have a map. Sunken ship. Ryoshima coast. Okay, I'm definitely getting the feeling that I did go through all of this, but it's still haunted? Did I not defeat the water dragon? Is this not where the water dragon lives? Yeah, because we do a whole thing. This boat gets flooded. I hope it's not the case that, like, okay, yeah, so I have been through here already. At this point, I'm just worried that, like, I lost save progress somehow, but I don't think that's what happened here. Yeah. I kind of remember this. And that does that. Whoa. That's the middle one. Right there. I missed. It unnamed. Come on. Right there. Nope, standing on this is aiming it. No, it's not. It just has a lot of momentum in its aiming. Like a lot of momentum. More. Yeah. I've probably already done this. Why am I still doing this? Oh no, it just aims back up. Oh. Alright then. Well. Ooh, okay. I remember this, so that'll shoot up. Here, that's another checkpoint. And this is back where we started. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna say this boat is done. Maybe it was right after the boat that I saved right there on the island. Maybe that's why that's the save point. I like to leave myself a save point like right in front of the thing I'm going to have to do when I come back, but maybe I saved it right behind. The water that's not the map. Ryoshima Coast, city checkpoint. The city checkpoint is the border. Oni Island is somewhere. Maybe you were doing a monster list for this area. No, I'm not doing like 100% run, so I wouldn't have been like, nope, not that button. I wouldn't have been, you know, sitting around to 100% anything. This playthrough, which I'm playing one day a year, about 8 hours at a time, is only the second time I'm playing through this game. And the last time I played it, I was in high school, so it was the aughts. How do we get out of here? Can I... No walls. There's not... Oh, there's a, the mirror inside doesn't have the X, which means it will let me fast travel? Is it the ones with or without the X that let me fast travel? Yeah. Go away. Can I blow you away? No. Are you a teleport point? So I would be able to do... No, because there would be a separate one. Okay, so the ones with the X are the teleporters. Oy. I don't think there was one out here. Can I get on top of the boat somehow? Alright, if I look at my log... It was the Land of Dragonians, the Amazing Orca... Wait. So we met the Orca? So we met an Orca who was going to take us to Oni Island, but then something about finding a whirlpool in the ocean. Have I now goofed myself because I imagine when I completed this dungeon it would have teleported me back to land or something. And now I'm kind of stuck here. That can't be. That's way too obvious a way to soft lock yourself. I can't imagine that that's what's going on here. Okay, now if you have any hints about the very least how to get out of here, then maybe I should be paying attention to. I'm all ears. Via the sun. Via the sun? Oh yeah, because the moon is what did this. Thank you. Now you're thinking what portals. And then the dog immediately drowns. Well, I mean, we can fix that. Okay. Well then. Who was this Orca we met? Land of Dragonians? Oh good, my chat boxes are working. I had a lot of trouble before starting the stream just with tech updates. I have no idea how many updates have run on OBS since this time last year, but what's better than troubleshooting tech immediately before you plan to go live with an all-day stream, you know? Okay. I'm pretty sure I did that. Have you been fed? You've been fed. That's really the only thing I worry about 100%ing is feeding all the animals. Inaba. Okay. What? Yeah. Race. Oh no, we're doing it. Where are we racing to? Also, isn't there... Eventually we get like a slowdown spell, don't we? Boing! Did we win? Or did we go the wrong way? We probably went the wrong way. I have the spell. I have the spell? It's not The map. Let's see here. Catwalk. Veil of Mist. Yeah. Confuses. No. Inferno, Gale Storm, Crescent, Water Spout, Vine, Boom, Cherry Bomb, Power Splash, Rejuvenation, Sunrise. Ugh. What's this way? There's Sayan City, but we wanted to... The Ryoshima Coast. Okay, that's a whirlpool. That's where I can use a mermaid coin to fast travel? That horse has been fed. That seems like a rock I can't cut yet. Alright. What's up with you two? Okay. So now we're crossing the board. Did I come back? Oh, jeez. Ah, jeez. Is that now? This is across the border. Did I talk to the Dragonians already? Oh, there's a whale. There's a blinky whale on the map. Okay. Well, then why would I have saved over there instead of, like, over here? There's a blinking whale on the map. I'm not going to question it. Maybe the last thing I did was I went back to the dojo to get stuff. There. I passed it. Oh, yep, they've been fed. Hello, friend. Just do it? Sure. Whirlpool, but it's hidden right now to keep the beams. You must find the whirlpool and make it. I see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So we just have to go find it. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Catcall Tower. Yeah. So that would have been the last thing we did. Is we went to Catcall Tower and got. Let me know if my mic is clipping. It looks like it's clipping. Maybe I didn't add the compressor on this scene. Okay, so we're exploring this bit of ocean. Good, I can do that. That's definitely on the island. That's definitely Oneonta. Oh. I said, listen, I thought maybe the orca would, like, have cool recommendations. No, that's one of those. Hey, look up for me, please. Okay, good, thank you. I never played Wind Waker. Is this what it's like? Now, who is that? Is that the water dragon? What? Oh, wrong button. That seems fine. I even remembered to turn my lights on in my background today. Ooh. This is just the normal coast again. maybe I got frustrated at this point last year trying to search for a whirlpool. Oh, another thing. Let's get him. Yep. That way we overkilled it. Oh, right. I have a shotgun, too. I totally forgot about that. The whirlpool can be pretty hard to find if you don't know where it is and if it's been a while. Oh, it's been a while. Oh, here's something I haven't done yet. You obtained a golden peach. Fantastic. Okay, let's... See, like, if I look at this map, there's a place where, like, an island could be. That's kind of a dead spot, you know, a little northeast of us. It doesn't necessarily mean it would be there. There's the Oni Island that seems to, I think the one with the little dingus hanging off of it is the Oni Island. If I can recall when we were leaving port. If it would be... It makes me think that it's not on an island, right? Like, if one of these islands you get up on the plateau and then there's like a pool on it and that's the pool that has the whirlpool. The whirlpool is hidden. Now, does that just mean that it's out here, or does that mean that there's a trick to revealing it, right? Crack 'em. As this is a very like high school nostalgia event for me, I've got myself a 4-rack of Mountain Dew here. Just diet now because I'm in my 30s. My birthday was last week. Actually, only 5 days ago. Today's the 20th. Yeah, I generally go with if I'm looking for like, you know, it's kind of the streamer thing, right? In order to, you got to fill the stream with something, so you just let your mouth run, so you do a lot of thinking out loud. If it's a genuine question, I'll say, you know, I work by hey chat rules. Hey chat means I'm actually looking for an answer to be given, not just asking to. I've definitely practiced rubber duck programming before also, so this is very, you know, and that's the thing. Why is chat behind the game? Okay, that's something I can fix. There we go. I will say, before too long, but that's also the other thing, right? Like, I come from sort of a game design background, so I like to look at a game and break it down and sort of like have an asynchronous conversation with the developers, with the authors, to be like, okay, can I figure out what you were thinking? Can, you know, but what did you intend for me to see here, kind of stuff. Yep. Okay, so if he says that every time we get on, then that sounds so, wow, it looks phallic from over here. It looks phallic enough to be a thumbnail? Who knows? We'll see. Oh, can't talk to you. Is it gonna be a nighttime whirlpool? Oh, just moving on. There's Oni Island. I guess I did? It's a local night. You know, like how when it rains, it doesn't rain everywhere. It's only raining on your city. Well, now that island is night. Having a local night event. You see, now that right there suggests to me that this is not always water. Am I in that spot? No, it's out there. Wow, okay. Look. So by my map... Oh no, that's not... Oni Island isn't on this section of map. Okay. That's the little Dinkus Island, which means whatever I was looking for... Whatever I think the dull spot on the map is kind of over here. And then there's a big fish. Is that the water dragon? Right, I have a whole... That's the holy artifact that lets me walk on lava? This game is so weird. Good! But, okay, yeah, I'm about in the right spot. Hey, man. Do you want... Eat a bomb? I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? You tell me the whirlpool is inside the dragon. There. Okay. Okay, I guess it can't change while you are still in Orca mode. There we go. Now we're swallowed up. Now, are we gonna... Is this like a willing Vor situation? No, he just returns us. Okay. I mean, you figure that's about the right spot if it's being guarded, right? Like, narratively, that makes sense. Yeah, me too, Amy. Me too. I know it's Ami, but Amy sounds cuter. Missing a few things? Yeah, I bet I'm missing a few things. Is it... I was thinking... Oh, that's extremely night. This is a spot where I've already put the controller down. I'm just gonna muse for a while. I was thinking... I've been thinking a lot about Metroidvanias lately because I would say that is a genre that I am a big fan of. But also... that style has kind of become like the default for platformers in a way, and I was just sort of like thinking back to the origins, because like I say Metroidvania, I don't actually like any of the Metroid games. All of the Metroid games rank pretty low on my tier lists, but it's also just interesting to see how, when you say adventure games in the classic sense, it's like point and click adventures, but I think adventure games are more usefully categorized by like a game in which you have an inventory which you can use on objects in the world, like not just like equipment, you know, not like a CRPG. You know, I need to rub the rubber chicken on all of the other objects in my inventory and on the objects in the world, because in a Billy Keys Metroidvania game like this, your inventory is abilities, is new verbs, not just, you know, items in your inventory. Because now it's just like, oh, let me, you know, I have this thing I'm trying to solve. Let me rub all of my abilities against this. Is this something I solve with blooming? Is this something I solve with wind? Is this something I solve with climbing up a wall? In the same way that so whether that's like a 2D side scroller or a 2D or 3D style Zelda, that's just interesting to me. That's the kind of stuff I find interesting because that is the specific kind of dork I am. I'm honest. Okay, missing a few things. Okay, real question. Missing a few things as in I do not have the items or abilities to do it yet, or just I'm missing connections in my thinking? Because I'm pretty sure this is the next thing to do, which means I'm probably have just steps. Okay, all right. I have everything I need to do it. Let's look at what I have. Do I have... Oh, I could upgrade health, I guess. What is... I don't remember what anything money is for. 3 extra lives. Alright. A catwalk. I have Veil of Mist. Yeah, hold off on that one for now. I have the understanding that it's this sea area because it's where the whale is. It's where the island is. Clearly, I'm around it. I don't need to know, like, between which islands yet. Inferno. Veil of Mist. I don't... Okay, so when it says confuses enemy, it means slow them down. Okay. Alright. I forgot. Uses whenever you were... Chances to attack. Okay. I did just get catwalk from this area. But I don't see... The tower was there. And so, again, remembering back, like, over... Oh my god, like 2 decades. Yeah, around 2006. That was when I was playing this game. 05, 06 maybe. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so old. But still young at heart. I remember catwalk being something that wasn't like super necessary. It was definitely the kind of thing to like go back and get a bunch of extras. Rejuvenation, Power Slash, Cherry Bomb, Bloom, Early Vine, Water Spout. Water Spout tells you where you can use it. We tried Crescent, didn't seem to do anything. So unless maybe like, I think it would be cool to say it is hidden in the Veil of Mist, which is something that you must manually place there. Missing a few steps, and if you're telling me that... By the way, if you're getting too frustrated, let me know. I'm willing to work to make sure we're all having a good time and compromises. I'm here to have a good time too. I don't want to be frustrated. But if you're telling me, I'm kind of thinking, right. Oh, that's fantastic. What you making? My mom does a bunch of crochet, so blankets and scarves are great, but I know you can do a lot more with it. I kind of wish I knew how to crochet a little. I have this, which I keep on my desk, which is one of those like fidget toys where you have to make specific movements to continue the pattern, and that is crochet is a very like fidgety kind of pastime. And I think fills the same role. A sweater? Oh, I hope you're feeling better. Honestly, in our house too, everyone got a nasty flu. No, I went to the doctor. Doctor said it wasn't a flu, it wasn't COVID. It was just a virus. But like, yeah, everybody on my timeline was feeling sick. Everybody in our house got it one after the other. My partner was the last one to get it, and they're finally starting to feel better. I'm still coughing a little bit, but finally well enough that I've been like starting to sing in the car again. Can I get all of these at once? Yeah. Feedback. Hello. Oh, trees. This is a good one to find. Money. But that looks like a flame. Okay, hold on. I should read. I don't need to guess immediately with everything I find. That's just the way my brain works, because I'm kind of a jerk that way. Money in here. A divine spring. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah. What am I doing with it? Okay. Spring must love money. Min input once. Okay. Hello, Happy. I assume you mean throw the lowest in here once in order to set it off? Merry Christmas, Glitch. Now, Max. Let's see here. This was high school. Journey came out when I was in college. I definitely played it, like, with roommates. I think that game is still, like, I think that game is kind of like the epitome of the PS3, at least in my mind, because it is fun enough. It is far more interesting as cinematic, and they were trying to do something like interesting and different with the way that they handled multiplayer, and that like you met people but you couldn't communicate directly and you didn't know who, and they just sort of went in and out. The PS3 to me was very big on like art house games. Like, I don't think of the PS3 as like a Call of Duty console. It was for games like Journey and Tokyo Jungle is a weird one that was like always trapped there, and it's just like, oh yeah, that game was very game. Oh, what was it? The Last Guy, the game that used Google Maps as the art for all its levels. I was thinking about this. Everyday Shooter? Yeah, I think they are super interesting. They are not like games I would dedicate my life to, but they are the kind of games that are like, it is very good that these exist because they make people think differently about games. I think then Sony as a company like leaned harder, and that's why we have you know, we ended up with Uncharted and Last of Us being like games that want to be The Sopranos and Game of Thrones and like the what do you call it? Not premium TV, but like, you know, like the video game equivalent of Emmy bait feels like what Oscar bait? Oscars movies. Again, not to say poorly about those games, but they did kind of homogenize? That ain't it. What is my language doing today? They did sort of congeal into a very similar style of game, which is, you know, very high production values. Everything is very cinematic, you know, really lean into cinematic. And that's what I would kind of say about Journey is when I think about Journey, I think about the scene where you were sliding down the sand in that big, like, spiral downhill and you're looking at the sunset through the archway. That game was being very cinematic. And it was really good at it, and I think it was, you know, one of the earlier examples of games on Sony platforms leaning in that direction. I'm surprised something like Ace of Seafood didn't come out on Sony on PS3. That would be very much in it. Oh yeah, that's absolutely a game that you could play, you know, once a year. But at the same time, that's the thing. Like they focus on being cinematic, and they are very good at being cinematic. But I feel like they're not the kind of games that not encourage, but are set up for like 100% style playthroughs. Like you can absolutely do it that way, but you have to be there for the cinematicness first, you know? Oh, and then Metal Gear Solid 4. You want to talk about a game that is like being cinematic, but that was also extremely a video game. I'm so glad it's coming to PC. I might actually end up doing okay, I plan to do let's plays of the entire Metal Gear Solid series, at least through like Peace Walker and 4. Don't necessarily need 5. 5 was weird. I have opinions about 5. Cinematic games, they can be very video game, but cinematic games make me think of unskippable cutscenes, right? And when I think about like capital G gamers, and in a way that sort of leads towards like the people who enjoy the systems of games, maybe the people who are speedrunners, the people who are looking to they find enjoyment through the optimizing and the puzzle solving of games rather than just the enjoyment of the vibes and the cinematics being presented. Like cinematic games, I feel are like they're kind of akin in my mind to just of a piece with unskippable cutscenes. Which to be, they can be very good cutscenes, they can be amazing, they can have story that hits, all of this, but there is a certain, you know, style of player who is just like, I would rather skip this and engage with the system. And I think, you know, the people who are out there, you know, replaying cinematic games and 100%ing them are people who are there, they enjoy the cinematics first, and like 100%ing is something they are there to do, something for them to do while they are enjoying the cinematic part of the game. Versus games that are extremely gamey, which are just like, okay, let me hit the systems, let me try this, let me even something like, I'm not a fan of the Donkey Kong Country games, but like Donkey Kong Country 2, the way people play that and love that is like, it is for the hopping, the jumping, the pixel perfectness. They are not necessarily there, you know, I'm still a bit bewildered by like speed runs of JRPGs, just like conceptually. It's just like, yeah, speed run. We finished it in 60 hours. Like, God bless. You're living a different life with a different brain than I have. Okay, I did max, and then I did min, and then I did max. Should I do max again? I'll just keep throwing max. I don't know what I'm affecting. I'll throw max till I'm out of money. All right. Oh yeah, I have so much money. I could do this like another dozen times. There it is. Ah, origin of all that is good and mother to us all. Only a heart as pure as your own can pierce the darkness. I, Tachigami, can feel the kindness flowing from you. Our reunion has restored my power to its former sharpness. Your power slash shall become even more powerful. Use this skill well. Okay, so in my original... In 100% in 14 hours? Oh my god. I can't imagine beating this game in under 20 hours. I think, like, 14 to 20 hours is a good length for this game. But, God, beating it that... Well, I guess, you know, knowing exactly what critical path stuff is really helps. Why does the slash get more powerful? So, thank you, Big, for that. The thing I'm trying to remember is that in my original playthrough in high school... The only powered up brush technique I got, if I remember correctly, was like freezing. Is there a freezing one? And it was like I was like 35 hours in, and I was like, what do you mean these can be upgraded? And it was great because it was just like, oh, I am like now done with this game, but I just got a glimpse of like how much more there is that I wasn't even aware of. And to me, that's what makes a game really like great and mesmerizing, is when it's just like, oh, you thought you knew where the bounds of the game were? No, check this out. And it springs on you that there's like whole other worlds out there of the game that you didn't know about. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, but also this isn't secretly the place where the whirlpool was. Okay, so I wasn't wrong saying, hey, I bet there is some sort of pond on one of the islands that's special. Okay, but now with the stronger sword, I have 4 missable things. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know if anybody listens to Remap Radio, but I have been listening to Remap since it was Waypoint. I'm a subscriber, yada, yada, yada. They were having conversations recently about like things you could miss in games that you could actually get locked out of by progressing the plot. And if there's like 4 things in here, that's great. The scroll? What scroll? What scroll? Yeah, like I said, I played this game through once. It was not 100%, and it was 2 decades ago, so I am kind of playing this game fresh. There are just like glimpses of memories coming in. I don't know anything. I don't know what the right thing to do is. This is also like a very casual play. This is me like rediscovering the game. This is a very nostalgia playthrough because it is kind of new and it is kind of triggering memories. The power slash 2 scroll after paying. Like, look at it. Golden Fury. Oh, that's right. That's where you piss on him. Mastered by Tachigami. Yeah. 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 When I come Kirby, hold A as you... Oh, I never knew that. Multiple targets can be cut. It's just a camera angle. Drawing B. Okay. So that may be a thing I go buy from someone, someplace. Okay, so maybe the thing I have to do is I have to get out onto one of these islands and perform some sort of... Not a spell. Perform a technique of some sorts. I was on this one already, wasn't I? This feels like the one I would have got off before. Great. I was talking about this not long before you showed up, but I can go over it again. Like, this is... I was talking with my partner, and like as far as like 3D Zelda games go, I think this is my favorite. My biggest complaint about this game is that I think this is like an almost perfect 20-hour adventure game. The only problem is that it's 40 hours long, you know, and it's well, what's the words? Or what's the examples I compare it to? A lot of times, a problem that I have with certain games is not a problem. Here, where to start this is there was a talk from... Hello. Oh, that seems gross down there. Let's go. There was a talk by the South Park guys where they were talking about like script writing. Oh, hello. Oh, we're doing something. Okay. I'm gonna pause so I can finish saying the thing before this happens. Yeah. From start to defeat Orochi the first time feels like could be a complete game. And it's almost like the fact that you fight Orochi like, what, 3 or 4 more times before the end of the game, and then the real final boss is a beach ball, is the god from Puma Man. That's my favorite connection to make about it. When you're writing your story, when you're writing your plot, the plot beats, you know, if you are writing and then this happens, and then this happens, is not as effective and not as memorable as saying, this happens, therefore this happens, therefore this happens. Twilight Zelda? That makes sense. When you're writing your plot beats with and then, it feels like a deck of cards. It is like, it can be a lot of memorable scenes, it can be a lot of memorable set pieces and all of that, but you can shuffle them together and mess up the order, and it doesn't like affect the outcome of the story, or at least it doesn't feel like it does. And that's what happens in your memory. Like, there are so many pieces of this game I remember. I remember Kaguya as a space rabbit princess. I remember we go inside the Emperor at some point. I know we fight Orochi 4 times. I know the last boss is a beach ball. But if you like put a gun to my head and told me to write down the order in which they happen, I can't really tell you that, because like, yes, they are there, but it never feels like they have... Oh, right. We fight the mechanical owls, Flavor Flav, and the other one. And also there's a blueberry wolf at some point. I forgot until just now that there's a blueberry wolf in this game. And like, I like all of those pieces, but again, and like, that's, you know, it says it surprises you with it, but I think it's more fitting to describe it as it is like disconnected in a way. Like, we are done telling one story and now we are telling this story, and it's like okay to be disconnected, but look at something like Asura's Wrath, right? Like, that is a game that is, you know, technically broken into like chapters that you can pick off a menu and all of that. And it's just like, okay, what order do the boss fights go in? Well, they generally get more more epic and bigger scale as it goes on. But other than that, like, they do break it up, being like, this is episode 1, this is episode 3, this is episode 8, or whatever. I haven't played that game in even longer. And it feels like a game like this could have been more like an anthology. It's just like, okay, and here is another story of the Amaterasu. And, like, I don't know if you would make that DLC. I don't know if you would make it separate games. It might not be long enough to be separate games. But, like, I think each story has enough, like, plot relevance, you know, going through it. Like, the Blueberry Wolf thing. Like, you meet him, and then you go with him. There's, like, the time travel... I forgot about the time travel nonsense where you fight alongside yourself. Oh, my God. But, like, that's the thing, right? Like, this is a game written with and then between its plot beats, so they can kind of go in any order. You can forget about them, you have to be reminded about them. When something is written with therefores, you can't really forget anything because everything is built upon the last one. You don't just, you know, shift gears into something totally new. It is steps along the way, and like it helps you remember things more vividly and more correctly. That is just a thing about... Sorry, I'm, like, psychology background, too. Humans remember things better as narratives, as story. And part of that is because, you know, if you're at stage 1 and you cannot get to stage 3 without stage 2 happening, then as long as you remember these two, you will remember this happens. But, like, if stage 1 and stage 3 could still happen without stage 2, you'll probably forget stage 2, you know? And I think... like, everything after the Furk arc of this game is like that. It's good. I like it. It's enjoyable. But it is forgettable in, like, the context of this game. Like, I really don't remember how we end up fighting a beach ball at the end of the game. I know it's, like, maybe it's an alien. Maybe it is, like, you know... the true horrific form of a demon is something that doesn't even appear humanoid or something like that. Doesn't even appear like a ghost. It feels like something inorganic. Yeah, that's cool. I cannot tell you any way the orb is connected to the rest of the game. If there was some reason why the orb is why we had to fight Orochi 7 times through different, like, time periods and worlds, okay, maybe. But it's not. You just do, here's another story that ends with you fighting Orochi. Here's another story that ends with you fighting Orochi. And, like, I like all of those stories. Give me better breaks between them where I can be like, all right. If this series was just like, there are 5 stories of the Okami and I can play 1 each year, that would be great. Yeah, it's so many crammed in one. And, like, maybe there's ways that you could adjust those stories so that way they do, you know, they are adjusted so that way they do become therefores. I think, you know, some of the better JRPG stories do that, because JRPGs are also super long. But yeah, they definitely, like when you beat Orochi the first time, it is just like, and then you celebrate and you have your denouement, and it's like, but then a new story was starting. Like, it is almost self-aware that that's what it's doing. Okay, we're fighting a boss. It's a spider? Great. Do I remember this boss? It's got hooks, and we tie it to that. Ah! No, I gotta tie it to its butt. Nope. Show me your butt. There. Can I do multiple? Or am I being greedy? I'm being greedy. Yeah, I'm being greedy. I remember this fight. I would have swore this was like one of the first 3 boss fights. That's a boat? Do I have to cut all the lanterns to deal damage? What are we doing here? I can't get this in one cycle, can I? No, I'm out of ink juice. Okay. But also, do I remember this fight because there is like a Zelda fight that is also exactly this? But whoops. Okay. Oh yeah, that would made it super easy because then he can't jump around to follow me as fast. Wait. Also, hey, second thing, is this a secret boss that is optional and I just don't know that? Ah! Normal dog attack! Normal... Whoops. Okay. I should probably just let my ink refill a bit, right? Okay. Yeah, what up? What's good? Nope. Hi! You want to come close, huh? 1, 2, 3. And 3 is the amount. Done? My real hot take is everything I just said about and then versus therefore in your writing is why I don't like the Chris Nolan Batman movies. Because, like, I know I saw all of them. I cannot tell you the order in which the scenes occur in or across any of them. This was an optional boss. Oh my gosh. I got excited. I thought I was doing something relevant to progression here. I gotta remember to run ads at points during the day. It's already been an hour. Let's go a little more. I can do it like every 90 minutes. Well... I mean, that's the thing. That's part of the exploration, right? Like... That is why I say, like, you know... You can call it, Yeah, that's true. I'm progressing towards more health. I'm never going to complain about more health. No, I'm never going to complain about more health. When I was a little kid, my whole thing was like, the first thing my dad taught me was like, here's how you start games. The second thing he taught me, here's how you put in cheat codes. So, like, for the first, you know, 5 years that I was playing video games, I was always playing it with God mode, infinite ammo, what have you. And that's fine. Honestly, I don't think I would have beaten, like, Vice City if it weren't for cheat codes. There's... Gosh, that's going to be... it's a conversation I have a lot, is talking about, like, yeah, like... If you... Oh, what's a good game to talk about it with? Talk about something like Stardew, right? Stardew is a game that lots of people mod. And, like, anytime people talk about, like, oh, I can't stand to play X game vanilla without mods, like, there's sort of an argument of, oh, well, you just don't like that game. You know, and it's weird that you're changing it to be what you like. And I'm like, no, yeah. I think that's absolutely fair to say. Like, you do not like the vanilla version of it. It has many elements of a game you do like, that you would like, but it also has elements that are pushing you away. Hey, man, do you know how to open a whirlpool? Oh. The shock. Kill for that rod. The Marlin rod. The strongest in the world. Okay. Sure. So even not talking about mods, but like it transfers to just things like difficulty options and accessibility options, you know? I think very quickly something like Celeste comes into play. You know, there are accessibility options built in which are, you know, infinite lives, infinite jumps, all of these things, which like could be akin to something like cheat codes, modding, something like infinite jumps. Like that's like a Game Genie kind of game modification, right? But then people don't know what to say about it because it's just like, oh, you're because the developer included the option, that means it is part of the game. So people don't really mind saying something like, oh, you know, we both like Celeste and we're gonna be able to accept that, ignoring the fact that I play with infinite jumps and you don't, just because the developer included it. It was part of like the intended vision or whatever. But I like to look at like the exact same thing, but in Smash Brothers, right? Smash Brothers all items and Smash Brothers no items, Final D only. At the core, they share a lot, but they are very different experiences. And like, I am somebody who likes Smash Brothers all items, funky stages. And I run into people and they go, "Oh, you like Smash Brothers? I like Smash Brothers." But then they like no items, Final D. We do not enjoy the same game. Even though those are both options within the game, they are different games. I think in a really like functional sense, they are different games. The rules of those systems, the elements included are different. Or even like, you know, Magic the Gathering, if you're playing Standard versus Commander, like, yes, you're like playing the game with the same pieces, but you're playing different games. You know, maybe you're only, when you're playing no items, you are playing with a subset of pieces. I remember when, I think it was Mario Kart 8 finally let you create like custom game rules that would let you like take out blue shells and just use like custom item pool, stuff like that. To me, that is just like the developer giving you soft mods. I think if you're okay with those, you should absolutely be okay with modding, because it's just like, yes, I do enjoy a different game from you. The question is, did the developer give me the ability to craft the game that I enjoy in the vanilla version, or am I having to do it separately? Because if you are changing the difficulty, you are you know, and it's a weird thing because you go back to people would like to say something like Battletoads, right? Like, oh yeah, no, Battletoads, one difficulty, you either like it or you don't. Yeah, okay. There's a version of Battletoads I would like, but there is no option to get to it unless, you know, today with ROM hacking, whatever you want to do there. But it is kind of that thing. It's like, no, you're right. I don't like Battletoads. I like the version of Battletoads that is changed in this way that I'm willing to call a separate game. It's just a matter of like how it's you are still crafting a different game. I found my favorite mode for Towerfall. I don't remember what it was I think it was like everybody gets one arrow. Was like my favorite thing about it, and it was just like, oh yeah, no, you really gotta. It puts you more into bluffing and stuff like that rather than power-ups and just like dumping arrows everywhere. Yeah, it's weird. Towerfall I liked a bit more as like a Final D kind of style versus game. I also like Bushido Blade as well. Nope. Well, yes, I like Bushido Blade. I meant to refer to Samurai Gun. Bushido Blade was just... I got stuck thinking about Bushido Ball, which is one of the games in UFO 50, even though that is more like Windjammers, another game that I did appreciate. There's too much in my brain. I'm making the incorrect connections today. The point being, like, yeah, like I think we need to sort of accept that even when the options for modifications are included in the vanilla game, we need to accept that, like, if you are playing with different options, with different rule sets, you are playing a different game. And that's also me. Like, I literally have a degree in game design sciences from college. Go me, I guess. I should see if I can find my degree. I could hang that on the wall with the neon lights. Would that be cringy? I don't know. It feels like a dumb thing to have a degree in, which is why I would kind of enjoy it, actually. Yeah, don't get a degree in game design. Just go make games. That's my advice to you as somebody who did it. To me, at its core, a game is a set of rules more than it is the pieces you play it with. It was an awesome time. If you're a dork who likes games and you want to self-select into a group of other very like-minded people, it was a great time. As far as like a use of money and sort of setting yourself on a career path that will be sustainable for the future, it's not. I'm not making money off of streaming, so I do janitor work for a day job to pay the bills. Yes, extra credits was awesome. If you haven't heard the podcast Experience Points, they don't necessarily have insight, but I do like they have a sort of like casual but analytical discussions of games. That I've been a fan of theirs for a long time. I don't listen to it as much as I used to. But yeah, if a vanilla game includes difficulty options or accessibility options, it is actually a set of games, and you are not necessarily playing the same game as somebody else unless you are using the same set of rules to define the system that is the game. And I think we all need to sort of understand that a game with difficulty and accessibility options is multiple games, you know, in the same way that games with, you know, a given unique set of mods installed is a separate game from the vanilla, as well as other modded versions of the games that have different mod sets. Okay, we're fishing? The marlin. Okay, so... Rude? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to get that fish out of the water and allow us to do something else. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Fishing. I want to catch the big one. I like a fishing minigame in... Yeah, here we go. Opposite to fish. And then we do this. Okay, I'm remembering. My favorite mod for Stardew, which, again, I would absolutely describe as making it a different game, is the one that puts markers for every villager on the map, because my least favorite, the most friction I have in that game is... oh, here we go. Is knowing where the villagers are at any given time. So anything that's like, oh, can you bring this to this person for me? And I'm just like, no, I don't think I can. Oh, it's Friday and the store is closed? Great. Honestly, if I also did one that, like, time doesn't progress. What if I had one where, like, I had a UI element that was like a watch, but I set the time at which point then all of the NPCs respond. So that way I could be like, oh, I want to, you know, I need it to be morning so that so-and-so was down at the river, or now I need it to be midday so that all the shops are open, or now I need to talk to a bunch of people, so let me set it to evening so everybody's at the bar. And then also I didn't have to worry about going to sleep because it's getting too late because time doesn't... Oh, I got to see if that mod, a time control mod. But then it's also funny because one of my favorite sort of inconsequential mods for BeamNG is the one that syncs the game time to the real time, which doesn't actually work that well because the way the daylight transitions in that game isn't, like, realistic enough to make it look like it's matching. But it's a cute idea. All right. Let's do it. Whoa, okay, too much. But yeah, Stardew. The last time I was playing Stardew, I wasn't going for 100% fishing collection, but that is basically what I was working towards, because the only thing I really liked to do was fish. Fish and mining, dungeon crawling. And I was so happy when they put in the multiplayer, because then I was like, okay, good, partner, you go play and do all the villager quests and all of that, and I will just do the part that I like, and then we can actually, like, progress in this game. Hey, bud. I do have to hit it again. I knew there would be one with multiple hits. I kind of thought maybe we were going to catch the big fish in the sea, and that would clear them out, and then the whirlpool would appear or something. It was really funny that Infinite Wealth, one of the arcade machines they put in, was like the Sega Bass Fishing arcade machine. Which I have no idea how to play, but it's definitely giving me a feeling. It's like, I feel like that's a game I would love to learn how to play, and then if I saw the cabinet in real life, I would just go ham. Is that it? Yeah! 3 hits. Zelda rules. Zelda rules. She's a princess, after all. Yeah, take a look at this. The mighty king of the sea. Oh, that's big. There he goes. Can we go to the restaurant and eat that fish later? Okay, let's look at the rest of the island. Is there another rock I can cut to a secret chimney entrance? Okay. This one is... Nope. I thought that would be another one that was too concrete. Stone to dig? Too stone to dig. Holy bone. Nice. I'm skipping all of these fights. I hope I don't need to cleanse these islands of enemies in order to get the whirlpool to appear. Because that would mean I am, like, intentionally sidestepping the thing I need to be doing. I forget how to do the dodge. Don't I have a dodge? Oh. Ooh. They became one. Oh. Ah. Cut. There we go. He ain't turning into no demon thing. Okay, what else is... If they had put some sort of, like, map marker system into the remake of this, that would have been pretty helpful. Know which one of these islands I had been to already. I am looking for the whirlpool to do something so that the whale can take me to the Oni Island. I've been playing for about an hour and a half and pieced together that is where I left off last year. And I'm still okay just being in wandering and wondering mode. I'm not looking for direct answers yet, but that is where I am. Actually, speaking of, now would be a great time to take a quick break, run some ads in case anybody new pops in, and take a archive break to make sure my hard drive doesn't fill up. So I'm gonna pause. I can do the thing. Go here. I should make this smaller so we can see outside better. Yeah, that's my actual backyard. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go nowhere. If you're watching the archive, you won't even notice. Alrighty? We will be right back.